It's Brian Wilson alongside Larry O'Connor.
And as we see this, well, what can really be referred to as a refugee crisis on our border, they're not immigrants, they're aliens, they're refugees, these unaccompanied children who pour across the border by the tens of thousands over the last few months, overtaxing our Border Patrol officials. We see this crisis happening down in Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, California. One thinks, well, that's a problem. It's a problem for our country. It's a problem for those states. But what does it have to do with us? Well, joining us right now is Corey Stewart. He is chairman of the Prince William Board of County Supervisors in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And this illegal immigration problem, this refugee problem, it is very relevant right here at home, is it not, Mr. Stewart?
Well, it certainly is. Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey.
Morning.
This is very similar to me. This rings very much of 2007, a time frame when we had a crisis in Northern Virginia, and we responded to it in Prince William County. As you know, it's beginning to feel a whole lot like 2007 again in terms of the importance of the issue and its importance in the electoral process as well.
Well, and do you buy into the argument that I think we saw Governor Rick Perry of Texas make, that the Obama administration was well aware that this was going to happen? In fact, they were kind of in on it because they want this political wedge issue to make Republicans look unfeeling to our Latino brethren.
Well, I think it's really beginning to look like that. And, I think it's a big miscalculation by the Obama administration. Politically, this could have some short-term benefit for Democrats, for the administration. But in the long term, as these migrants, as the administration is calling them, or illegal aliens, move their way into the country and they move their way into people's neighborhoods, it's going to have a negative effect on the popularity of the Obama administration, if it can sink lower, as well as any politician who supports amnesty is going to have a detrimental effect on them as well.
All right, so let's drill down on exactly what it will cost the people in Prince William County.
Well, I don't think you're going to see any direct cost, at least in the short term. But over time, as these illegal aliens move into the non-border states, you're going to see an impact on the school systems.
Well, there's a cost associated with that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. What that cost is, I mean, it's too early to tell, but I think the thing that more people are going to be concerned about, at least in the initial phases, is the impact on the crime rate.
Our guest is the chairman of the Prince William Board of County Supervisors, Corey Stewart, and apparently tomorrow the Prince William Board is set to vote on a resolution pursuing a lawsuit against DHS and ICE based on the whereabouts of 7,000 plus criminal illegals in Prince William. What's going on there? Did the county sheriffs in Prince William actually apprehended these illegal immigrants, these illegal aliens that and were criminals, and now DHS has let them go?
Well, that's right. Since 2008, when we actually implemented our policy back then, we have apprehended around 7,500 criminal illegal aliens who not only were here illegally, but who committed a crime, an arrestable offense, not just a traffic offense. After they served their sentence in Prince William County Jail, they were handed over to the feds, presumably for deportation. I mean, these are bad folks. They have not told us, the DHS has not told us, what they have done with them. And we know that a significant portion of these individuals have been simply released back into the community, and ICE has not told not only the community about where they are, but they haven't even been told, and they refuse to tell even our own police department about whether these individuals have been deported or released back into Prince William.
So hold it just a moment. So you've got guys who were bad guys who picked up, and they weren't charged with violating the laws of being in this country illegally. They were charged with crimes. And
That's right.
And then they do their time, and then you say, look, we've got these bad guys, and we want to hand them over to you, ICE, so you can do what you're supposed to do, which is get them deported back to where they came from. And they will not tell you where those people are.
That's right. And some of them, here's the thing too, that some of these are very serious crimes. We're talking about sexual assaults, indecent liberties with children, a lot of crimes where we're legitimately, and our police department is legitimately concerned about where these individuals were, at least so we can tell the victims of the crimes that some of these individuals committed. So, look, this guy's back in the country. He's been released by ICE. You need to be aware of that.
So when you hear the Secretary of Homeland Security say this,
is the goal of the administration to settle as many of these kids in America as possible?
The goal of the administration is to stem the tide and send the message unequivocally that
what about the thousands of children who are here now? What is the goal of the administration? To settle them in America or to deport them back to situations that might be even life-threatening?
There is a deportation proceeding pending against everyone who comes into this country illegally and is apprehended at the border.
So when you hear him say, hey, we have a plan to deport them, what is your response?
Well, you have to parse their words very, very carefully. They say that there's a deportation proceeding against each one of those individuals. But what that means is that they place them in that line for a deportation proceeding. That day never comes.
Yeah.
The individual that killed the nun a few years ago, I'm sure you remember that, he had been placed in a deportation proceeding 10 years prior to the date on which he killed the nun. That date never comes for these individuals, and by the time that it does come, the immigration court will simply release them back into the community. They are never deported.
That's if they show up for their trial date, and they just disappear. They just disappear, and there's no accountability whatsoever. So what's to be done? I mean, honestly, what is to be done with this situation as it stands, and with your situation specifically in Prince William County?
Well, I hate to say it just bluntly, but I mean, you need a change in administrations. And frankly, the Bush administration wasn't all that much better on this issue than the Obama administration. But you at least need to hold your individual congressional representative accountable for this. A lot of them, they'll say they don't support what's going on the border, but they're not doing anything to enhance interior enforcement. ICE doesn't have the resources to take these individuals. And that is at the bare minimum, that's what needs to happen. Not just enhanced border protection, but ICE needs to have the resources for greater interior enforcement as well.
All right, great. Well, listen, we appreciate you joining us, and we, whenever we talk about this issue, we try to make it very relevant to what's exactly going on in our neighborhoods, and it's good for you as chairman of the Prince William County Board of Supervisors to let us know exactly what you're doing to deal with it in Virginia.
Well, thank you for joining us.